there.
Wow.
They didn't hear your rant. Well, first of all, the Vikings suck.
Okay, I will start over.
No.
Oh, you're right.
No.
You're right. The Packers are the best team ever.
I never said that.
Let me
talk.
They are going to win everything. They're going to beat the Bears like 96-0. They're going to go to Dallas.
Am I ever going to be able to talk?
Beat Dallas by 70 fucking points, and no one's going to score against them. And they're going to win. They're going to go to the Super Bowl, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I didn't even think.
I just know it.
I never even had hopes of making the playoffs this year. So you have to admit that I can be fucking happy. Okay? I had no
happy that you beat the Vikings.
I had no expectations.
Has no starting quarterback.
Fuck up.
Have no time.
I had no expectations
no sense of anything
going
for offense.
into this season. I had no expectations going into the season. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be happy if Jordan Love does good. The young wide receivers do awesome, which both check. The defense does better than last year. That I'm just going to erase that because we're going to have a new defensive coordinator after this year, and if we don't, I'm going to be walking to Green Bay and protesting with all the other Packers fans.
The Packers are going to win the Super Bowl, and no one will score a point on them.
Now you sound like a Vikings fan, except you be talking about yourself.
I'm just listening to you and how excited you are about your Packers.
I've never said this year that the Packers are going to go to the Super Bowl.
After you,
when have I said that? Have I ever said that? I have not said that this year at all.
I'm saying that with the excitement that you had on New Year's Eve about.
Yeah, because it was awesome.
It's just like Packers are going all the way. And
I never thought that.
No one's going to beat them.
I thought it was awesome that they beat the Vikings because it's a division rival. You would do the same fucking thing.
The division
it's the same
rival
thing if you beat the shut up!
Without a tight end, without a defense that's any good.
Okay, because it's our fault that TJ Hawkinson tore his ACL. It's our fault that Kirk O'Chains is fragile and old. Just like Aaron Rodgers.
I'm just saying, don't get so excited for beating a team that's been.
I'm sorry that I'm happy that we're one win away from making the playoffs. In the first year of Jordan Love starting a quarterback.
You're not going to make it to the playoffs.
When nobody ever expected us to be this far.
You're going to win the Super Bowl.
You shut the fuck up. You bitch.
You said you were excited to talk to me tonight.
Yeah, I am. But I can't talk just like last time.
I've been sick.
Yeah, I was too. I'm not going to comment about that. But you have to admit, I hate comparing the two, but Jordan Love looked a lot like Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. I don't like to admit that, but the one thing I really hate is when, oh my God, Jordan Love threw the football, both feet were in the air. Who did that? Who else did that?
Favre.
Oh, Brett Favre did that. Oh wait, no, Aaron Rodgers did that too. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody. Nobody cares. Jordan Love is Jordan Love. He's not Brett Favre. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is out, ruining the Jets.
It felt good that the Packers beat them, but it's not like you just beat the 49ers. You beat an equally, talent team. I mean, there wasn't.
It's still beating a division rival.
It absolutely is. And I'm not trying to downplay that at all, Blake. At all. I'm not.
You're turning her.
I am not turning. No. If
she's understanding what I'm saying.
I've been trying to say that it's a divisional game. It's the same fucking thing.
But it would mean more. It would mean more if the Vikings had if Love went in there and Cousins was the starting quarterback and they had Hawkinson, and they had, was Addison playing? I think he was out too, wasn't he?
No, he was playing.
But he didn't get as many, yeah. You have the full Vikings team, that is a completely different game. So yes, they won. Take that. I was super excited about it. I was cheering.
Read that comment.
I have read it. And I'm gonna say, Darren, yeah, you're right. There's a number of your players are out, but Love is no comparison to Mullins. Mullins is not even a third string quarterback. So if you're gonna compare quarterbacks like that with Mullins having more experience,
How do you
Mullins
guys
is horrible.
How do you guys have a starting quarterback then when you said everybody's like a third or fourth string quarterback?
What the hell did you just say?
You're saying everybody's a third string quarterback.
They
Yes,
are.
they are.
Well, then how do you
Talent-wise.
have a starting quarterback?
They don't
Someone
have,
has to play.
yeah, they don't
right?
have a starting quarterback.
Could have got Joe Flacco.
You can't compare Love to Mullins because there's no comparison.
No.
Love is a starting quarterback.
I don't think Ron disagrees with how good Love is. I don't think Ron.
Yes, he does.
I know he does.
Love is a good
Love
quarterback.
is a good quarterback.
He's a good
This
quarterback.
week you say that.
He's
I've
never
said it
not
before
said that.
too.
He's never not. He has never did. He's not one to sit there and.
You're just
Give players hard time.
trying to beat me up on this, and I could get.
I'm just trying to
less.
talk.
First of all, I could care less about the Vikings being anywhere this year. I don't care about them missing the playoffs. I don't care if they were in the playoffs. They are not a playoff team.
I'm also just trying to talk for one episode too.
I know you are talking. You've been talking.
You did talk, but you had it on mute. So it's like your phone knew what to do.
So don't get all pissy with me about this.
You're the salty one.
Okay.
If Love and the Green Bay team can do that same thing against a more qualified team, then I would be really excited. Not that
Like
I'm
the
not
Chiefs?
excited that they won, but yeah, but even the Chiefs aren't. I don't know. They're struggling. That's not. You can't say that the Chiefs this year is the same team
I don't give a
last
shit.
year.
They just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that team that they are this year is not a
Alright.
Super Bowl team.
Blake's getting pissy.
Yeah,
No,
getting
because
busy.
you're basically saying every win that we've had this year has meant nothing.
I never said that. You're
No,
putting words
we're
in my
not
mouth.
saying
I
that.
said it means more when you're playing against teams that are at a higher level. I'm sorry, the
Kansas
Vikings
City Chiefs.
mid-grade team this year. Mid-grade team this year. Compared to the years past. I'm sorry, Mahomes set a bar way up here. He's not up there.
Yeah,
He's not.
because everybody around him sucks.
So exactly. If you go in and you beat Mahomes, the Mahomes of last year, oh my God, Blake, you won't get me to shut up about how good the Packers are. That's not the team. Go beat the Kansas City, San Francisco. Go beat the 49ers. Go beat Dallas, for crying out loud. Go beat the teams that are at the top of the league right now.
Dallas isn't even at the top of the league.
No, they're not, but they're good.
They beat mediocre teams.
I still think they're better than the Packers. They're better. So, anyway.
When you beat teams that are below 500, that doesn't mean you're elite.
I'm not saying anybody's elite.
The Dallas Cowboys are a mediocre team that gets lucky. The San Francisco 49ers buy everything. Just like the LA Dodgers.
Anyways, they won. Vikings lost.
Yep.
At home.
At home.
And then they really lost. Like,
Oh yeah, they did not show up to play at all.
No.
So.
who was off though for the Vikings? The Green Bay had a lot of injuries too.
Yeah. We had our number one wide receiver was hurt. Who's been hurt all year?
Was Wicks didn't play, did he?
I don't think so.
I think he was out.
And half the receiving core. And half of the defensive backs are out. So
We killed it. We killed the buzz.
That's okay.
fuck you. Talk about the midway.
I don't know if
AJ Stoner tomorrow night or Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Take it away, Amy.
Same thing we say every week. Go up there, check it out. Get up there before the snow
So
flies. We got
enthusiastic.
snow coming. I don't go up town. I'm
Supposed to
sorry.
snow?
Yes, it is.
Supposed to get a snowstorm next week.
And it's supposed to drop.
Good
It's supposed
thing
to
I'm
be
getting
really cold.
tires put on the truck.
But no, Midway is one of our sponsors. If you haven't gone up there and checked it out, Chase is, how long has he had it now? It's been a
I
year,
don't know.
8 months, something like that. Anyways, he's really doing a great job refinishing it, sprucing the place up. Bathrooms are fantastic. Great bartenders. He always has something going on every weekend. So get up there, check it out this weekend.
Yeah.
Got your trivia?
I have history.
No trivia?
I have trivia also.
It's your turn. It's your time for trivia.
No, it's not trivia time. It's history time.
I have wrote down that it's Ron's trivia time.
No, trivia's later.
No.
Really? Trivia. Fine.
Ron's wisdom. You get these mixed up every week.
No, I don't. You do.
I'm the one that writes it down.
I just don't even have it written down. Trivia this week. We're doing Minnesota trivia this
Oh,
week.
dear God.
Why are you so happy, Blake?
You really put him in the dumps.
He's just so upset with us all the time. Okay, everybody, what is the name of Justin Jefferson's TD celebration? You looking at me with them beady brown eyes you got going on there, buddy?
Can I answer it since you're
Yes,
being
you can
a douchebag?
answer it.
The gritty.
The gritty, yes, you're correct.
Hey, greedy.
This next question could have two answers, which I think would be fair, but who threw the Minneapolis Miracle touchdown pass? Darren, who cares? Come on. Nicole got it right. The gritty. Who threw the Minneapolis Miracle touchdown pass? You're probably reading my answers.
No, I'm not. I know the answer, Ron. I was down here in this basement when that happened.
No, Jason, not Tommy Graver. Nicole got Case Keenum. She's correct. But
Whatever
I
happened to him?
truly believe you could put Brett Favre on that too, because he did the Minneapolis Miracle with when they beat the 49ers too.
Nobody cares about that.
Would you get happy? What is the name of the Wild's mascot?
Ooh. Mom would know this.
I don't remember.
What is the name of the Minnesota Wild's mascot? I didn't know this one either.
I don't really say the name.
It's on the back of his jersey.
No, not Mud Duck, Jason.
Then he'd be a duck. Not a bear or whatever the hell he is.
Not a wolf.
Guy doesn't know the answer.
What?
No one.
Disappointed. They were just at a game. I don't know.
The name of the mascot is Nordy. Last question. What was the name of the franchise before they became the Minnesota Twins?
Oh, I just saw this.
I know what they were before they were the Timberwolves. You know that one?
Well, yeah, but that technically that's a different franchise.
I know, I'm saying, I know what they
Yeah,
were
that was
before
the
the
Lakers.
Timberwolves, yeah.
Yeah.
Before they moved to LA.
What is the name of the franchise before they became the Minnesota Twins?
The Twinkies.
Not the Mets.
They play at the Metropolitan though.
This is a franchise that was moved to Minneapolis.
Just seem-
Was it the Expos?
No.
It's not a franchise anymore, right? They've completely gone
They actually, there is a franchise
with
that
the
came
name.
back with that name.
Mariners.
Nope.
Oh
Did it? I want it. No, it wasn't the Brewers, was it?
no, they were the Pilots, and they moved from Seattle to Milwaukee after they moved the Braves from Milwaukee to Atlanta. They got the Pilots from Seattle to Milwaukee.
That is long enough.
I have a feeling.
The name of the franchise was the Washington Senators.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's all I have. But I have history.
What's your history on this week, Ron?
It's just straight up Wisconsin history. It's not really sports or anything, but. What's next, Blake?
Packers Bears.
I look for that to be a good game.
I hope the Packers did do what they did to the Vikings, same as they do to the Bears. It's at Lambeau, so
That's gonna be a fun game.
my stepbrother Braden's actually going to the game.
Nice.
Jim was supposed to draw my name for the tickets last Sunday,
Jim. The heck.
but
So do you think the Bears go into this trying to stop it, ruin it for the
it's the
Packers?
same thing as the Lions game last year.
Are the Bears out though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they're
are out.
yeah.
The Bears have nothing to lose. They already have the number one pick.
Yeah.
So it's just like the Detroit game last year. I mean, they're just gonna come into Lambeau and try and ruin it. I don't think they will this time. Because we don't have Karen Rodgers at quarterback.
Did he do something to make you mad?
Just when he doesn't show up in the media.
Yeah.
That's all I see on Facebook is Rodgers' opinion on everything. Somebody's here.
Mhm.
Is it your wife or is it my kid?
I don't think it's your kid.
20 or 2
They're awful quiet though.
It's Travis. Jeez, you're stealthy.
I think Love is gonna throw for 300 yards and at least 3 touchdowns.
What is Fields gonna do?
I think he's gonna throw for at least 200 and 2 touchdowns.
You think he's gonna rush for 70 though?
Yeah. And he's probably gonna get a rushing touchdown,
Yeah.
just like earlier in the year.
So yeah, it's kind of nice to see him actually developing a little bit. So
Yeah, but they're gonna bring back Eberflus.
Who?
who's that? The
The
offensive
Bears, the
coordinator?
Bears head coach.
I have no idea who.
Oh, you mean next year?
Yeah. And well, he's the coach this year.
I know.
And they took Luke Getsy from Green Bay, and now he's the offensive coordinator in Chicago. He's probably moved on. He'll probably never coach in the NFL again. He's Cause Eberflus is more of a defensive coach.
But his last name sounds like a Whoville last name. Like Cindy Lou Who.
I don't know, ask your mom why they keep hiring horrible head coaches
I don't think.
and then waste a quarterback's career.
Chicago though, who are they gonna hire? I mean, they're not
Yeah.
gonna go after a big name because they don't wanna pay anybody.
Harbaugh.
You think Harbaugh will go there?
Harbaugh hired an agent that has ties in the NFL. He represents other head coaches in the NFL.
I thought they were gonna send him to, the Chargers.
Chargers want Belichick, which is a crazy idea, but Green Bay is gonna be looking for a new defensive coordinator.
I heard Zimmer's going there.
What?
Don't even.
No, you did
No,
not.
That's what I heard.
I
No.
don't think he's gonna coach in the NFL again.
I don't think that's gonna happen, no,
No.
but that's the name that.
It's
popped
the
up.
same thing as the Vikings are gonna go after Russell Wilson.
Exactly. I'm just saying, that's what I.
That's
heard
probably
on the
some
radio.
stupid K-fan bullcrap.
Wasn't there a Cowboys coach that?
Al Harris.
Yeah, that they were
He
talking.
played for the Packers.
Yeah, that they're
You
talking.
probably
Mike.
saw that I posted that.
Yeah, I pay attention sometimes.
I mean, I know we can't get Belichick, but it would be
Oh my
awesome.
God!
Can you imagine?
Would you really? Would you take Belichick?
Yes,
Oh my God!
I would love Belichick.
He needs to retire and be done.
No, it'll probably, if they would really would want a good defensive coordinator, they'd pick up Jim Leonard. But he's never gonna come to the NFL. He's gonna want way too much money, and he already said that he wants to stay in college. So, right now, I think Al Harris is the only guy that I can think of that they would actually hire. But going from defensive backs coach to, that transition from defensive backs coach to defensive coordinator hardly ever happens. A lot of times it's like a linebackers coach or a defensive line coach. So,
My mom saying anything?
Just that Harbaugh was suspended in college.
yeah, for cheating.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if Chicago offered him enough money, he'd come back.
But does
Which-
Chicago want him back?
He played in Chicago. He was a quarterback for the Bears.
Yeah, your mom said that he played for the Bears too.
I think that if he entertained the thought and had a meeting with Chicago, he would be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. But who would want to go into that dumpster fire?
Well, sometimes all you need is a fire
That's
to.
how it was
change
in
it up.
Carolina this year. You saw how far that went.
Yeah, here's a question for me then. How do you fix the Vikings?
Do what the Packers did. Draft and develop a quarterback, not draft like Kellen Mond and waste them.
The Vikings don't do that though.
I know, but it's worked for Green Bay 3 times now.
I don't. I'm not all excited about Kwesi, to tell you the truth, as a general manager.
I don't really understand that hire because he had no experience.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy out of Harvard. That's all he had going for him. I think he was in the front office or something of another, like the 49ers or something. But all he had on his resume was he went to Harvard.
You know, he done the same thing in the last 2 drafts, the only 2 drafts that he's been in. And they just jockey around positioning and pick up, you're trying to pick up as many picks as you can. Well, I didn't like it, I don't understand it, and to me, you're not getting your best possible players doing that, you're just getting numbers.
Do you think the right coaching staff is with Minnesota now?
Yeah, O'Connell
I like
was a good fit. I mean, he just, he was doing good up until he couldn't do good anymore with it. I mean, what do you do with quarterbacks that
Yeah.
can't play?
See, like, they're gonna re-sign Cousins.
I think you have
It's a
to.
given.
3
They're gonna
years?
re-sign him for probably 2 years. He's what, 38? No,
I think he's 39. I think.
39? No, I don't
No,
think
he's
he's that.
not, no.
He's not that
No?
old.
No.
He's like quite a few years younger than Rodgers. Rodgers is 42, 41. They'll re-sign Cousins. If they're smart, they'll draft a quarterback,
And have him shadow.
have him learn from Cousins. They'll beef up their offensive line. Cause they have to have
They got
some
the
money.
bookends. The bookends are there, but the ends, yeah.
It's like a turnstile running through the middle.
Darren says trade Jefferson for multiple draft picks. Well,
Didn't I talk
I
about
think
that last year?
Jefferson's contract is up, isn't it?
Next year.
Next year?
So they're basically, now they don't wait until their final year, they sign them the year before. And that is part of the reason why he sat out for so long, is he wanted to sign this contract extension. Well, Minnesota thinks he wants way too much money, but
It's gonna be
when
league leading money is what it's
when
gonna
you
be.
have somebody like Justin Jefferson, just like Devontae Adams, you pay him. You just pay him.
Mhm.
Whatever he wants, because he's gonna get it somewhere else. And if he wants to stay in Minnesota, why not give him what he wants?
Yeah, and I think if they sign Cousins, I think he's happy with Cousins.
Yeah, and
So
like, I mean, it's only his 3rd year. So I mean, if you draft a quarterback, then by the end of that quarterback's contract, you'll have some money to wiggle through because Jefferson's contract won't be up yet. Because you signed him to like a 6-year contract. So then, you can kind of stagger the money a little bit. Then you don't have to pay everybody all at once.
But doesn't the salary cap go up? Not this year, next year? 2020.
After this season, it goes up.
Yeah. And then, but then it goes up again.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Get rid of Madison.
yeah, he's done anyway, I think.
Um,
Ty Chandler's gonna be starting running back next year.
Cam Akers,
I know
There's-
Cam Akers will be back.
he's not going to be the same player. I don't think you keep KJ Osborne.
Really?
He didn't do nothing this year.
He did really good last year. He hasn't done shit this year. You draft a wide receiver.
I'm not so gung ho on drafting receivers all the time. I think if you could pick up
Yeah, but who are
somebody
you gonna
in free
pick up?
agent- I'm just saying that if you
The pool
can,
is small.
There's not gonna be much to choose from this year.
they'd been money ahead if they just kept feeling.
Yeah, but they didn't wanna pay him that because he was old. But he really is not that old.
He's
He
not.
hasn't let off. He's had a good season out there in the coast, so.
Well, I'm trying to say they thought he was too old for that kind of money. Green Bay does the same thing. With Devontae Adams, they offered him the same contract as Las Vegas to stay in Green Bay. And if Devontae wanted to stay, Rodgers would still be playing too, and we wouldn't have Jordan Love. Jordan Love would be gone. So,
Thoughts on the Lions?
Who do they have this week?
Vikings.
Vikings, that's right.
Yeah. We all know that's gonna be a win for the Lions. I mean, if they can't win that
The
game.
Lions are gonna be pissed off.
Well, they should be pissed off from it. I didn't see the play.
It was
Oh,
horrible.
absolutely.
They go in before the game and tell the refs, hey, if we're gonna report somebody that's eligible to be a receiver that's like a lineman or whatever, they give them the number.
Yep.
which they did that. He went into the game
Yep.
and said, "Hey, I'm reporting
Yep.
as eligible." Okay, yeah, whatever. In one ear, out the other.
Detroit won that game. And I wish there was something, and I know it's never, that call should have been reversed, and the Lions should have won that game.
Which, funny enough, immediately after that game, that officiating crew was told that they will not be officiating in the
I heard
playoffs.
that.
They probably will not be officiating this weekend either. Because there's too many games that are.
Is it in Detroit?
Yes.
I think Detroit, with Dan Campbell and knowing how he is in that locker room, they are going to put everything in. Regardless, they put it all on the field.
They are fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
They're playing starters, I know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which
Oh, yeah.
they should. I mean, they can possibly get. I think they're the number 3 seed right now, and they can move up to number 2. So.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come in and they're going to say, take this call and you can shove it right up your ass.
Which I mean, even like with the Browns can still get the 1 seed in the AFC
Yeah.
with Joey Elite.
It's a nice
Which,
story.
funny enough, so Baltimore has the number 1 seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if Cleveland goes in and they win, chances are Joe Flacco's going to go back into Baltimore and play the Ravens
That'd be fun.
as a Cleveland Brown in
Be
the
a
same
good game.
division.
It'd be a really good game.
Did you watch the Miami? Did you guys see the Miami game at all?
I
Miami
saw they
Ravens
got
game.
slaughtered.
Oh my gosh. The Ravens just walked all over them.
I blinked and they scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Jackson's up for MVP.
Not really.
No, he is. He really is. Didn't believe it at first, but the officiating or the announcers were talking about it.
Well, the thing is, though, is like, so it's Dak, then Lamar, then Jordan Love for touchdown passes. Jordan Love is 4th in passing yards. He's like 4th or 5th in completion percentage.
Technically, this is Love's. No, it's not.
It's his first starting,
It's his first starting year.
and nobody wants to talk about it. Like, nobody brings it up that he's a top 5 quarterback right now.
But don't you think some of it has to do with how well the team's doing? Like, and I'm not, in all reality, Jackson's getting attention because the Ravens are playing so good. Not that the Packers aren't playing that good, but they're not top of their division. They're not. Doesn't that play into?
Not always.
But it does play into it. So if Green Bay had a more winning record, then Love would be definitely in the conversation.
Well,
My opinion, and I can be totally wrong on that, but that's just what I see.
When Rodgers won MVP back to back, they were good. But if it wasn't for Rodgers those 2 years, I don't think that they would have been anywhere close to what they were.
Absolutely.
So
I'm just saying overall how they look at it.
I mean, if Jordan Love were to play as what he's at right now the whole season,
Right. Oh, absolutely.
he'd be number 1 for MVP. But
He doesn't play that consistently. Anybody say anything?
Your mom was saying something about you have to look at all the old QBs and the new QBs. I don't know what she means by that.
but yeah,
Who wins the Vikings Lions game?
Lions.
The Lions do. They're going to destroy it. I see the Vikings as players are not going to give a rat's ass about it.
I don't agree with that. I was listening to some post-game news conferences on KFan on my way home way to my game last night, and the offensive line, they want to go in and give it all in this game. Because there is that chance. From what the post-game conference.
Chance of what?
2%.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just saying what was said in the post-game conferences.
I think there's some receivers on the Vikings team that just have not given their all this season.
Like KJ
Osborne, at times Addison, I think, hasn't given it his all.
I thought, honestly, like, when Jefferson was hurt at the beginning of the season, I thought Osborne was gonna, like, soar.
He should have. I mean,
And he didn't do shit.
well, he got that concussion and he kind of fell off everything after that. So, I just feel like there's some players that just did not perform as to what they are capable of.
But hey, you're gonna get Russell Wilson next year.
Can't wait.
You're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Watch
do
him do
everything.
it.
I'm so happy you have that confidence in me and my Vikings.
You guys will sign Wilson to a huge contract, just like Denver did.
I think it'll be like a 12-year contract.
Same amount of years as toilets he has in his house.
$52 million a year.
You do realize how much dead cap he's gonna be on Denver next year when they cut him? If they cut him before June 1st, it's
I heard something about the reason they benched him was because he was due a bunch of money.
so when they beat the Chiefs, they asked him if he wanted to, renegotiate so they can distribute some money and pick up some people. And he said no.
Oh,
They're like,
duh.
well, we're gonna bench you. Which they did. And Peyton had enough of his bullshit. Because Russell Wilson is a head case.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
I hated him since he cost us the Rose Bowl when he was at Wisconsin. I've never liked him because he's been such a head case. It's always about him. I mean, even Marshawn Lynch was talking when they played in Seattle together. He's like, I tried to talk to him a couple times or text him and say, hey, anything you need from me, I'm here. I'm always here. And Wilson's just like, huh? What?
Yeah. If the Vikings sign him, I will not watch the Vikings next year because that is ridiculous.
When your head coach is screaming in your face on national television and you've won you're a Super Bowl champion, you're supposed to be the second coming of Christ at this point to Denver, just like they did with Peyton Manning, and they don't do shit.
So, play this out for me, because I'm getting confused. Cousins his contract is up, and we've talked about it before that, like, somebody like Atlanta or who's the other team could potentially put an offer on the table and get him to jump. What keeps Cousins in Minnesota,
Justin Jefferson,
and what keeps Jefferson in Minnesota?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
So I don't
But
think.
Justin Jefferson is still tied for another year.
But you just said, can't they break out of that the year before?
No, they
They can
negotiate. So most of the time now they negotiate before they really have to
Okay,
because people make too much fucking money now.
right.
So,
Would
which Justin Jefferson also, they talked about how he wanted his contract extension done before the season ended, this season, and he was hurt.
right?
They basically said no because you're hurt.
We need to know how this plays out.
And
But what I'm getting at is, does Cousins leave Minnesota because of money?
I don't think if he goes anywhere else, he's gonna
He's
start.
not going to get any more money anywhere.
You don't think so?
He's literally every penny that he's made in Minnesota has been guaranteed.
No, and I'm asking those questions
It's the
because
only time that's ever happened.
it keeps coming up and you guys are saying it, and I think that Cousins staying, Jefferson staying.
Yeah.
But there's all these talks of Wilson but they're really just,
It's just bullshit.
Russell
Yeah.
Wilson will probably go to the Falcons. He
can you
won't.
imagine that? Oh my God.
It's the same thing with what Joe Flacco's doing. He played for the Jets, now he's playing for the Browns. It's gonna be just like Joe Flacco, it's just gonna be like
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's just gonna bounce around for the rest of his career until he finally figures out that he can't play anymore.
Yeah.
So,
But the Vikings have to find QB2.
which like I said, there's plenty of quarterbacks in this draft. Last year there was nobody. It was all wide receivers and defense. And then they signed Hawkinson to a huge contract, and now he's going to be done until probably halfway through next season.
What happened?
Tore his ACL.
Tore his
and
Yeah,
ACL.
right. Oh, that's right. Well,
Did you know that Wisconsin was purchased from France?
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of a cool thing.
what year?
I don't recall.
It was-
Just-
part of, what was that part of? Can't remember. It was some sort of giant land purchase
yeah,
when they purchased the middle of the United States. They basically sold it.
and many of the first settlers in Wisconsin were lead miners, which pertains to why they named the state the Badger State, because the lead miners would kind of burrow or badger into the ground like badgers do. That's how the Badger State, that's more or less how the Badger State came about.
You seen the first pictures of Bucky Badger like back in the 50s? It's scary.
I was gonna say, well, it looks like a horror movie.
It's like the Easter Bunny back in the 40s.
Let me throw one more at you. The Republican Party was founded in Ripon, Wisconsin.
Yep. Where is Ripon? I feel like
I'm thinking it's down by Madison.
I feel like I've been by there.
Yeah, you drive. Yeah. Interesting.
Darren says cousins may leave if someone gives them a longer contract.
A longer. What's a longer contract?
I don't think anybody's gonna give him more than 2 years.
I think you'll get a 3. I think
3
somebody.
tops.
I
He
think
stays
somebody
in
puts out there a
Minnesota.
3. I think Minnesota gives him a 3-year contract.
I think if he goes anywhere else, they're gonna sign him to 1 year.
That's what I feel like.
Depends on how hard they are.
The only place is gonna give him more than a 1 year is Minnesota, because they know what he can do, but they don't know what he can do now that he has a rebuilt Achilles.
Mhm.
So
That's a big thing. I mean,
Minnesota has to sign him. I don't think they have a choice.
like I said, do the Packer way and it might pay out.
But you can't.
I know,
You
but
gotta develop them. So
I know, but you have to have somebody to develop them. Cousins is the only one out there that can do that for Minnesota.
this was an interesting. I was listening to Barrero on the
Mhm.
way home,
yeah, that guy.
and I can't remember who he had on with him, but it was a sports guy that covers the local sports in the Minneapolis area, and
From CCO.
he asked this guy. He said, "Draft would you give the Bears a second round draft and something else for
The first round.
their quarterback,
Justin Fields?
Justin Fields?"
No. He's not
It was
there.
an interesting question
That is an interesting
because
question.
the Bears have number 1 overall.
Right. That is an interesting question.
That's another thing. Bears are gonna piss that away. Just like they did last year.
The draft pick.
Yep.
But if you look at it this way, the Vikings end up at number 9. The Bears trade draft picks
Right.
down to 9,
Right.
and
Because if they're not going to take a
the Vikings
quarterback,
give them a number 2.
You also
I
have
mean,
to.
that's a win for the Bears, wouldn't it be?
You also have to think though, they're gonna ask for the 9th, they're gonna ask for next year's first.
yeah.
They're gonna ask for multiple
He's
seconds.
not worth that.
But that's what they're gonna ask for.
No, but if they trade up to the first round,
Yeah.
pick, the first overall pick, they're gonna want your first this year, they're gonna want your first next year, they're gonna want a second this year, maybe even a third this year, and another pick next year.
There's no way, you
Just like
wouldn't
they
even-
got from the Panthers.
there's no one would even expect that.
That's what they got a lot last year.
But for Fields though, you
That's
can't,
what I mean, I
you
don't
could,
think
you
it's,
could do the swap and
No,
then,
I'm
the second
no,
round, that would
I'm
be-
saying if you just swap picks, I'm not saying Fields.
oh, you're
If
just
you
saying
swap
picks.
picks and Fields, they would probably still want a second
Yeah,
round pick,
Yeah, that's what I said originally.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I would not do that.
I don't think the
I
Bears,
don't
I
know.
don't think the Bears get rid of Fields.
If you're swapping picks, you're drafting a quarterback first overall.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
But then he's gonna have to start right away.
Not necessarily.
He's the first overall pick. Can you imagine how
I don't think that's-
dysfunctional that would be if he didn't start right away?
You get the right person, they understand that, hey, you sit back and listen and
Not
learn.
nowadays.
Yeah, what's the word,
Honestly though, you gotta think, would you draft a quarterback or would you draft Marvin Harrison?
you gotta go quarterback. Vikings have to go quarterback.
Cause like, that's the thing, like with Chicago having the first overall pick, I think they draft Harrison Jr. I don't think they're getting rid of that pick.
I don't think they're either.
I think they'll draft Harrison and they'll give Fields one more shot.
Yep.
And if he can't do it with Moore and Harrison Jr.,
Well, how much time does Fields have on his contract?
He's in his third year this year,
Yeah.
isn't it?
thanks, yeah.
So he's got at least one more year up.
But like what the Green Bay did with Love, you know, they signed him to another year before this year, which people thought was a lot of money, but starting quarterbacks now aren't cheap. So,
Entitlement, that's what the word I was looking for.
but I mean, it's paid off so far.
Yeah. It's-
And honestly, I think they're gonna give Love another deal after this year. They're gonna probably offer him at least a 4-year contract.
It's gonna be postseason. It's gonna be interesting to see what coaches get let go, and this draft will be very interesting. I-
There won't be a linebacker drafted number 1 overall this year. Like the Jaguars did 2 years ago. So, I honestly think that the Bears will pick Harrison Jr. number 1 overall. I don't think that it's just like Justin Jefferson. Why would you pass on that? So, because Minnesota traded up right after Green Bay to get Jefferson, didn't they? I feel like they did. They drafted up right before Green Bay. Like Green Bay no,
I don't remember.
no, Minnesota traded up, picked Jefferson, and then Green Bay traded up and got, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they traded up. It's just like Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco. They were literally about to call him and say you're going to be a Green Bay Packer, and then the 49ers traded up to the pick before them and drafted Ayuk. Which,
Hey, Sam.
love to have Ayuk.
No, Beth, I don't think the Packers or the Bears have a choice with their quarterbacks, to tell you the truth. I think they have to stand pat with what they have. I mean, with Love, you don't want him. There's no choice in the matter at all with that, so.
To Blake's point earlier, it was he loves putting up the numbers. He's performing, and you don't get rid of that. You keep that.
I mean, especially, I hate to say it, but he's basically having identical numbers to Rodgers in his first year.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way they're getting rid of him. they would be stupid to, which the Bears would be stupid to get rid of Fields.
But what's missing from that Bears team?
Second wide receiver and an offensive line.
So that's what they need to draft. That's what they need to pick up.
I kind of want to watch the Packers Bears game and see. I
3:30.
haven't watched the Bears play.
What time is the Vikings play?
It's a new game.
Oh my God, we're gonna be able to watch the game.
Packers play at 3:30 on CBS. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
I like Tony Romo. He's fun to listen to.
The Zemkes have us up on their TV watching us.
Oh man.
That's a whole lot of stuff.
That's a lot of Ron. I have no idea. Try to get my phone.
Travis, what time is it?
About 8 o'clock.
Oh, Madison has not always been the capital of Wisconsin.
No.
What was it before?
I can't remember the name of it. I didn't write it down.
It was down there, wasn't it?
Do you know what the oldest city is in Wisconsin?
I feel like I should know.
You probably should know this one.
Lacrosse.
No. It's not Green Bay, is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
Because they were a fur trading town.
Fur
And
trading
they're right
town.
on,
They're
right on
right
the
on the water. Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
the French would come and
The French were big for furs and whatnot.
My friend
I have a lot of useless information in my head.
The first American kindergarten was started in Wisconsin. There's a lot of interesting facts. And I got one more, I might as well just say it. Wisconsin provided hideaway for many gangsters. Babyface Nelson,
Al
Bugs
Capone.
Marone, John Dillinger, and Al Capone.
I've been to Al Capone's hideout.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see that.
House was tiny. It was.
That's all my history for this week, so.
Well, Ron, you should talk about raising the bar.
Raising the Bar, one of our favorite two bars that we go to.
Actually, I just saw before I came here, they have a new special on Wednesdays.
I've seen they're still doing the karaoke and pizza and I think, aren't they?
They're doing buffalo chicken sandwiches on
Buffalo chicken
Wednesdays.
sandwiches?
Ooh.
Grilled
Sounds
or, is it fried?
I'm gonna have to try that and see if Tara is worthy of the buffalo chicken sandwich.
Better ask for ranch ahead of time, otherwise she's gonna rip your head off.
I'm not a huge fan of buffalo chicken, but
Neither am I.
some of it is so spicy and then salty that it's just, you
Yep.
can't hardly eat it.
Yep.
So hopefully it is not that way.
I feel like it's not that way.
I'm pretty sure it's not that way. Tara cooking, she does such a great job in the kitchen there, so. Along with Tim too, with what he does there also, so. But yeah, I
Lingo
know
Bar.
they got some upcoming events. There's a, Toothy's birthday bash, dart tournament. I know they added some dart boards downstairs now.
Yep, I saw that.
Stuff, so, they're still doing Wingo Bar Bingo tomorrow night.
Who's doing the beanbags?
It's the Midway,
Are
Raising the Bar, the Get Go. I think Seven Brothers, maybe? No, not Seven Brothers.
Hey Alexis,
I think it's 4 bars.
But Raising the Bar is in on that.
Yeah, and the Midway.
yes, we actually did a live podcast from Raising the Bar for
Ugly sweater.
our ugly
contest.
sweater party. So, and we would love to do another one at either place,
Absolutely.
so.
I think Chase would be open to letting us in there.
Well, Sam Zemke wants us to do the team up for the Bar Olympics coming up there. That's right, they have the Bar Olympics coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Moon Lake is in the
Be big league?
Bean Bag Boost.
Oh, really? I went
Per
there.
Samantha.
I went there for the first time about a month ago.
It's kind of a sketchy place.
Yeah, a little bit. Not far from my house.
So yeah, go down and visit with Jim and Tim and Sarah and Michaela, bartenders. Great staff, great people. We love them in town. And Bobby does a good job of keeping everything running there, so,
Yeah.
too. So scheduling and whatnot. So.
She's got to deal with Jim, so she's.
So this is the last week or next week's last week of football?
This week.
This week.
This Sunday is the last regular season game.
We'll have to, like, next week, we'll have to do the playoff board.
Yeah.
Do,
So that's what the questions I've been getting, believe it or not, is what's happening with the podcast once the Vikings and the Packers are done.
we'll keep going,
We can keep
I
going.
think, unless
We're gonna go through the playoffs?
Blake's in charge, so.
I already said we'd be going.
As long as we got something to talk about, maybe if we're low on info, maybe take a break, but, you know,
I think-
maybe break. But
With the playoffs, we should put the bracket behind us. I have a whiteboard that we
You do have a whiteboard.
yeah, we can do that.
Well, see, my mom's mom was gonna sponsor a whiteboard, but
I have a big whiteboard
We
that we can prop up back here.
we can do the picks and see who gets the farthest.
we should make it, I don't know, make it interesting.
Let's
Well,
get it
then-
done.
We'll keep going through the postseason.
No,
and then we'll
Dash and
see.
Sassy are not here. I don't want them in my house. Blah.
Oh, cause they heard Dash barking.
I still think next year we should do a fantasy football league.
Oh, I don't know. I did that for a couple years and then I haven't done it. And it's kind of nice not to do it.
I think it'd be fun. And we get the bars involved and we have a bunch of people do it.
Yeah, Beth says go Cubbies. Well, yeah, I could talk about the Twins and stuff too. So
Soccer's starting too. Just saying.
what?
That
Come on!
NASCAR's starting soon too.
No.
There was one thing I'd like to bring up about the Cubs.
Oh man, really? Ugh.
So there was a list I saw on all these teams that have made trades, signed free agents. But there's one team that signed a manager and have done nothing since. And that's the Chicago Cubs.
Just because they got their man.
You really think that he can just flip that organization around by himself? He couldn't do that in Milwaukee.
And I'll stay quiet the rest of the day.
I'm sure they'll probably get Corbin Burns from Milwaukee.
As far as I know, the Twins haven't done anything either. So
The Brewers have made trades and traded away younger talent for not old, but a lot of pitching, which they need a lot of infielders. They can't rely on young guys just yet. They aren't that good yet.
Okay, well, it's not baseball season yet, so let's keep going.
Yeah, but spring training starts in a month.
February.
Yeah, well,
Catchers and
soccer starts in February too.
pitchers and catchers report in like 3 weeks. So cold out there, Trav?
It's gonna be really cold.
She went 1 and 2.
Nice. We have a 6-month-old husky now, and she does really well, but can't let her run loose yet, so gotta walk her around the yard.
Yeah, when Beth just said women's professional hockey in Minnesota.
Home opener is Saturday.
It was the first overall pick was a gal from Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, the first game was played last weekend.
Minnesota's first game is at home is Saturday.
Where do they play?
Excel.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, I believe
Tracy.
so.
Tracy knows that family.
I think I'm going. I might be going.
Oh, and the XFL and the USFL merged
Yeah.
to create the UFL, which two boring leagues joined forces to create one boring league.
Yeah.
That,
Kind of sounds like a urinary tract infection.
well, like
But who was talking about it? Isn't there some decent talent coming out?
the NFL signs people from the XFL and the USFL but that really only the teams that win the championships get players signed, so. Like that Turpin from Dallas. Was it last year he got signed? He was the MVP, I think, of the USFL. I don't know.
Not yet, but he
He's
is.
really good. Yeah. I can't wait to watch football this weekend. I'll actually be able to watch football.
You don't have to work Sunday?
You're off
No, yeah.
a whole weekend?
No, I gotta work Saturday. But, no, I'll be able to watch all the football I want on Sunday for the first time in a long time. But I got to watch the Packer game with my father-in-law. I didn't send you that video. We had cowbells and bike horns every time the Packers scored.
Oh my god, thank you for not sending.
I should post that video.
I don't know what I got going on this weekend. I plan on spending some time in the garage with my new tools I got, but
Well.
That
move
time of
on to
night.
your Opinions.
opinions. We're gonna do wisdom first.
You don't have a lot, so don't.
I'm the wisest person you know.
I don't know about that.
That means the show's coming to an end,
It is?
which is okay.
It's
We're a
almost
little
my
blah.
bedtime.
Blah, blah, blah. You're coming off being
Oh,
sick.
my head is still messed up,
I had a late night last night.
so. So yeah, I was sick all last week. That's why we weren't here last week. But yeah,
I was sick too.
that was that point of the show for wisdom and opinions. So. For my wisdom this year,
This year.
today, lots of people want to ride with you in the limo. What you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down.
Well, what about the other people?
You don't need those people in your life.
How are they getting home?
If they won't ride with you in the bus, that's their problem.
Deep.
Kind of a deep one.
A little bit.
People aren't worth keeping around, put it that way.
I see how you feel.
Which comes to my opinions. My opinion is using a bathroom stall is less stressful than using a single bathroom, because when you walk out of the single bathroom, everyone knows who it was.
Pretty sure at work I know who did it.
Oh, stop. We gotta hold a conversation on that.
And I know when we worked together, I could narrow it down to somebody who's sitting here. Yeah.
My shit don't stink. So, wisdom and opinions wasn't hilarious, but it was
It was there.
to the truth, to the fact.
Thanks for watching. After coming back after a short break, after Ron got over his cooties. Thanks Beard Wisconsin, thanks to Midway, thanks for raising the bar. Hopefully we can do something at the Midway and raising the bar soon. Do something with Beard Wisconsin as well.
You hear that, Bobby? Set us up with something.
So
I like the end of the year, like a Super Bowl, something. I don't know.
I ain't doing a Super Bowl party because some
Oh.
people gotta work the next day.
No, I don't mean like a big party. I just mean
Plug
like
the-
a live.
Plug the fireman's supper.
Oh, having our annual oyster supper in a couple weeks. I have supper tickets and raffle tickets. If you're in the Clear Lake area and you're looking to buy some tickets, I have them. It's our
Midway.
hunt and at the Midway. Chase has some at the Midway. He's got supper and raffle tickets. It's our 111th year.
When is it?
It's the third weekend. No, the 20th, I believe.
20th.
20th.
The oyster soup, and they do the French dip sandwiches, which is fantastic. So
I think oysters taste pretty good.
yeah, I can't get into that.
Nope.
I'll try them, but I won't eat a bowl of them.
Nope.
So if you guys need tickets, just contact, go to the Midway, buy some tickets, message me on the podcast, or find a local Clear Lake firefighter for tickets.
Support the fire department.
Supper tickets are only being sold until the Thursday before, so we can get an accurate count on how many people plan on coming. So buy them now. But yeah, thanks for watching for another week, as I have to deal with these two.
Oh, cause
And
you're
we
just
have,
a
we have to
peach.
deal with you.
I am.
You were pissy, like
I am a-
legit crab ass after that, start of that show. Anyway,
Thanks, and go Pack, go.
go Pack,
Skol.
go.